Standard 10th, Subject History, Chapter number 2, Historiography, Indian Tradition. History of India was not only about Kashmir, was not only about North, was not only about South, but also about every local region. Historiography in the post-independence era. Now we are coming after we have gained independence. After the Britishers have left, along with writing the dynastic histories means history only about a particular family. The cultural, social, economic histories were also being written. Now slowly the historians also started writing about the culture, the society, the economic history, how a particular place was rich in particular resources. Scholars of the post-independence era began to feel the need of writing histories of various communities, various sciences, economic systems, political ideologies, cultural aspects, etc. The historiography of this era, the post-independence era, has been influenced mainly by three ideological schools. Now the historians who wrote history after independence, they were mainly influenced by three schools: the Marxist history, the subaltern history, and the feminist history. Now we will be talking into detail about all these three school of thoughts. First, starting with Marxist history, the concern for the means of production, modes of production, and the industrial relations were at the center in the writings of Marxist historians. Only about production, how to produce, whether it is food grains or any material, modes of production, which are the ways that we can increase the produce, and the industrial relations, how to take care of the people working in the industries, how to talk about the welfare of these people. All these things were the center point while writing the Marxist history. Accordingly, to analyze the impact of every social event of significance has remained the basic theme of Marxist historiography. Any change in conditions which affect the production or anything relating to production was the center of this historiography. Marxist historians in India studied the transitions, the transformations within the caste system, how the caste system changed as the time passed. Among the notable Indian historians who adopted Marxist ideological framework, scholars like Damodar Dharmanand Kosambi, Comrade Shripad Amrut Dange, Ram Sharan Sharma, Comrade Sharad Patil have contributed notably. These are all the Marxist historians. Comrade Dange was one of the founder members of the Indian Communist Party. Primitive Communism to Slavery, the book written by him, represents Marxist historiography. They are more about working towards the welfare of the people who are working in the industrial sector. Next, see Marxist history, please mark it up, you will again get as a short note. Next we move on to subaltern history, again a topic for a short note. The seeds of subaltern history are found in the Marxist historiography. The style of writing history on the basis of subaltern school of thought is based on Marxist historiography. The role of the Italian historian Antonio Gramsci is very important in developing the idea that history should be written starting from the bottommost ranks of people in the society. The Marxist historiography was concentrating on the welfare of the workers. Subaltern history also gives importance to the bottommost layer of the society, the people who are working at the basic bottommost level. In fact, subaltern means the bottommost ranks. The word subaltern means the bottommost ranks, the lowest strata of the society. Folklore has been considered as a very important source of writing subaltern histories. Folklore means the stories, the folk tales that we have been knowing in the form of Hitopadesh, in the form of various stories that our grandmothers used to tell us. Ranjit Guha, an Indian historian, played a major role in establishing subaltern history as an important academic school of historiography. However, we may point out that much before the onset of subaltern ideology, similar thoughts were expressed by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. These two visionaries were also working on the same principle. Mahatma Phule unfolded the history of Shudra communities in his book Gulamgiri. He drew attention to the exploitation of women, the Shudras, that's the caste system of India, who are part of the caste system, and Ati Shudras, people even lower ranked than Shudras, done under the name of religion. All these things are happening only in the name of religion. When someone is brought in a particular family, that new child becomes or belongs to that particular religion. The terms Shudra and Ati Shudra indicates the bottommost ranks in the caste system. Yes? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yes? No. We have 4 main castes since ages in the Shastras and Puranas as well. We have been taught Brahmans, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Yes? That is a different thing. We will be talking about that later on. Right now, we are talking about these important historians or leaders who have had a great impact of the society. Details about the caste system of India we will be talking at a later stage if and when required. The role of the people belonging to Dalit castes is very significant in the shaping of various cultural and political aspects of India. Now we will be talking about the Dalits. However, their role was not duly acknowledged in the colonial and nationalistic historiography. Being at the bottommost ranks of the society, please understand that the maximum work or the maximum effect on the society is done by these layer of people. Even if you see in any company, the lowermost ranks of workers do the most work, they put in the most efforts, and as we go higher the rankings in the company, the salary increases, the responsibility increases, but the work, the physical work done by them reduces. They only act as administrators and supervisors. The role of the people belonging to Dalit castes is very significant. Their role was not acknowledged. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, focusing on this fact, consistently wrote about it. He kept on writing about various things, giving much importance to this layer of society. 2 of his books, Who Were the Shudras and The Untouchables, are examples of history of subaltern type. He gave importance to these layers of the society because he understood that these are the most important blocks in building the nation. Next, we move on to feminist history. Over a significant period of time, mainly male scholars were involved in the writing of history. Till now, whichever historian we talked about, whether about the British era, Mughal era, Sultanate period, post-independence, whether it is subaltern history, Orientalist writings, everywhere we talked only about male historians. And this brings us to the topic of feminist history. The role and achievements of women in history remain neglected. A man will always try to give importance to a man. He will never be able to accept the importance or the good works done by women. That is a normal human psychology, because males consider themselves to be superior to females. To highlight this fact was a major task faced by the feminist historians.